Hello and welcome to the third minisode of Pixels and Polygons. I am Chris, and I am here with my good friend John. Say
Howdy,
hello, John.
howdy, 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 howdy.
Yes. And we are here. We're going to be talking about the biggest event of this year's E3. Quite a bit late. We apologize for that. But it's time to talk about Xbox and Bethesda.
Indeed, indeed, yes. It was a bit late. We were busy. Then it was a massive heat wave, and we just couldn't get together to get it done. This is totally not our second time recording this because of technical issues. Um,
Very
but
unfortunate technical issues, but we pushed through. We
but
survived.
yes, we this is basically the last one we'll do. Then we'll go back to our regular episodes.
Our regularly scheduled broadcasts.
Yes, which is normally just one episode a month where we talk about big game things. Sometimes there'll be a lot, sometimes there won't be a lot, but we always chat and stuff like that. Obviously, E3 was, I think, a month or just over a month ago now, but
Yeah.
there was a lot of info and they've also done more info, so we're going to start off with, Chris is going to take the lead on what we're going to talk about.
We're gonna, well, first be talking about this new RPG called Starfield from Bethesda, which just looks like a mishmash of Fallout and Elder Scrolls and all that stuff, that good stuff that Bethesda does.
Exactly, and it's all in their new creation engine too. Thank God they've actually made a new engine. Because the other one was getting rather dated after Fallout
Yeah.
76, and they've promised it to be the biggest and best yet, 16 times the detail. No, they didn't
Oh,
say
I
that.
don't start with that again, please.
And it's one of the games that's Game Pass day one. Don't have to
Yeah.
buy it; you just have to be a subscription member. And I think you said when was the release date?
11th of November 2022, so they've got just over a year
Yeah,
to fix.
it's and we did work out it's the 10th anniversary of Skyrim when it's coming out. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, there is that.
Hopefully, it doesn't have 30 times the bugs or whatever, because Bethesda's well known for their bugs.
Yeah, and we're hoping because they've got more money and more specialized people behind the scenes of the Microsoft.
And
Hopefully,
Microsoft wanting money, they'll say, no, you're not taking this out unless it's good.
hopefully it'll be better. It looks really positive. It's basically an open universe space sim kind of RPG thing. You have your own spaceship. I guess you'll land on planets, do quests, all that kind of good stuff. It is going to be a massive, massive project. So hopefully it's not delayed. It looks really cool. I'm very into sci-fi stuff, and I imagine it's going to have some horror elements to it. With the whole, there's bound to be some aliens references and
Yeah. There'll definitely be aliens and stuff in it.
maybe Event Horizon, all that kind of cool stuff. And but it'll have a bit of charm to it, I imagine.
Starfield crossover with Alien Isolation.
They
Oh,
can, they can do so much with it. Like I'm not super hyped for it because it's Bethesda. We need to see how they improve first. Um,
especially up to 76.
Yeah, but it's something to look forward to. Plus, you don't have to pay for it. You just have to have a subscription, and that'll get you
All
access
these
to it.
games, we should preface this, all these games are coming day one to Game Pass, so you don't have to really pay a
Yes,
cent for them.
yes, or updates or DLCs or whatever we mention. That's basically one of them. But yeah, that's Starfield. It's like kind of the big hitter. It's what made obviously everything Xbox and Bethesda talks about won E3 anyway. Ubisoft came second because they're Ubisoft. Um, They have like a lot of good, not a lot of great, whereas Xbox seem to be having a lot of great at the minute. So we'll just
PlayStation didn't make a spot because they skipped E3.
yeah, and we'll just go through a few of the games where they were announced, but there's not a lot of info because there's not a lot we can talk about with them. So one of them that I was super hyped for and I'm really looking forward to because the first had so much potential, and it just fell short of being an amazing experience. They played it a bit too safe. And that is Outer Worlds 2. It officially got announced. It had a really funny, self-aware trailer where they basically
It's
said
a very good trailer.
they were basically saying, "Oh, exclusive running shots," and this guy was narrating all this funny, pointless stuff, and he was just saying, "By the way, the game's not anywhere near done, but here's Outer Worlds 2 announcement." And there was obviously no release window or release date. The first was made by Obsidian, who made Fallout New Vegas, and I think the original Fallout's. So the first game was very different, but still played true to Fallout. I did like it. I've not fully completed it, and I'm really looking forward to what they
I
do with the
still have to play
second.
it.
It is worth playing, but I'm hoping with the second one they take more of a unique direction because they played it very safe with the first one, and it was
Yeah.
semi-open world, and it had some problems. The graphics were okay; they weren't brilliant. There's also some DLCs for the original, I think, as well. But the sequel has serious potential to be like a massive RPG. I'm hoping they do make it a bit more open world where maybe you're just trapped on one planet and you can use your ship to fly to different locations on the planet, but for some reason you can't leave the atmosphere. That would be better. Because I think the whole thing of skipping to different planets, while it was cool in the first one and made sense, it just makes the game feel a bit disjointed, in my opinion. I love games where it's just one location you can just travel to between. Like Witcher was kind of like one world, but big segments of it.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I'd like to see it. Whereas the first Outer Worlds was more like if you had like Fallout 4 split into like 6 sections and you had to have a loading screen between them, it didn't feel right. But yeah, that was Outer Worlds. I don't know if you want to pick another one. There was quite a few where it was just announced.
Forza Horizon 5 is getting a release that comes out in November. It's going to be based in Mexico. To
Oh
my
yes,
disappointment,
Mexico.
because I was really hoping for Japan, but maybe we'll get lucky with 6.
Give it 4 years. I think it'll be Japan for the 6th one. But
Yeah. We'll
yeah,
just have
that
to see. I mean, Mexico is still good. It's a nice atmosphere. It's a little bit more like Australia, where it's off-road, but it's still got potential.
one major thing they said is that the seasons are gonna play less of a role because it's gonna be more weather, like
Yeah, which is
kind of
what I'm
dynamic
really
weather.
glad about, because the biggest complaint most people have of Horizon 4 is the seasons.
Yeah, the snow is just terrible. It makes me not want to play.
Winter
Um,
is horrible. Every other season is fine, but as soon as winter comes, nobody plays.
but the cars look fantastic. Obviously, it'll be an improved engine. There's more cars, new environments. I imagine there'll be. I think there's full character customization they mentioned this time. There's also like an arcade creator mode where
Yeah, there's that.
they showed like a playground area where you could like make like a bowling alley out of cars, and it kind of looks inspired by what Dirt 5 was trying to do, but better.
But
Um,
hopefully better, because Dirt 5 wasn't the best.
and I think that again that's November. It's around November
Yeah,
time.
around November the 5th, I believe.
Okay, and that's Game Pass, like we were mentioning as well. Everything is. It looks really cool. I've always dabbled with Horizon games, and I'm glad they're doing full character customization in like an arcade mode. I think the Battle Royale they said's coming back as well. Um,
Which, the Battle Royale is actually pretty fun. I was hating on it until I tried it. It's actually
but
not too bad.
I imagine there'll be DLC for it and free updates. They normally turn it into a live service, and it's handled quite well. So that's
Especially,
another.
what they'll normally do is they'll have at least one other map that you can have as DLC, and then just one fun activity map thing.
Yeah, exactly. But with Horizon, it's like it's a predictable thing. We knew it was coming, but it's still
Yeah.
exciting. But apart from that, there was a bit of gameplay and an initial trailer. There's not a lot to go on. They have not described everything in detail. Um, yeah, we'll just go through. They did it also announce Age of Empires 4, which I know nothing about. I used to play micromanagement and strategy games, but I don't think I've ever tried Age of Empires. But it
I
is
know
there.
1, 2, and 3 are on Game Pass, and that's it.
Yeah, and obviously the fourth one, welcome to Game Pass. So if you're a massive Age of Empires fan or like RTS kind of games, that is a thing that is coming. I'm sure there'll be more and more info as it comes out, and I think they showed like a bit of gameplay and then like a cinematic trailer.
Yeah.
That was it. One that really did pique my interest though was Redfall, because people thought this was Elder Scrolls 6, didn't they? It was called
Yeah,
Redfall.
well, thinking they're gonna announce Elder Scrolls 6, and then poof, we got Redfall.
Well, it was already announced, but they didn't announce where, did they? Because it's like a couple of years ago they announced it was being made. But yeah, Redfall was basically rumored to be Elder Scrolls 6's location or something, but it turned out to be something completely different. A open world vampire Left 4 Dead kind of shooter game.
Yeah.
So it's basically you play as these characters and they have like powers and weaponry, and you're fighting off against vampires and weird kind of creatures that I guess like will be thralls or vampire kind of family tree cousin kind of creatures. And yeah, it looks really cool. They've not shown any gameplay. It was just a cinematic trailer. Again, Game Pass day one. I don't think there's even a
But at
release
some
window,
point in 2022, no, they just said 2022.
which is cool because it's something you didn't expect. So it's just something to look forward to in the future. I like vampires, aliens, zombies, dinosaurs, all this kind of weird kind of
Things.
things. So I'll take that. I really was looking forward to Vampire Masquerade 2, but that's kind of in a mess at the minute. So yeah, I'll take Redfall till then.
Next up, we've got Microsoft Flight Simulator that got a Xbox Series X announcement. So
Yeah,
that's finally
I
a
don't know if it's on
console,
the
which people.
Series S actually as well. Can't remember.
It might be on the S, but they confirmed it's coming to the X. It should be on the S as well if it's coming to the One.
Yeah.
And that's one that I've been hoping for finally coming to consoles, but now it's
Oh
not coming to.
no, they actually scrapped it for the Xbox One. It's only on the X. I don't even think it's on the S. I think they'll probably add it after eventually. But yeah, it was on PC in beta since last year. I dabbled with it a bit, but it's fully released now, and it's like a live service. They'll keep adding more.
Either
But
way, it's coming to Xbox Series X, which a lot of people were asking for, and it's got Top Gun DLC as well,
which
thanks to
is
the new
free.
movie. I don't even know if that's out yet.
I think it's called Top Gun Maverick or something, isn't it? I think
Yeah.
that was delayed because of COVID. Because Tom Cruise is doing Mission Impossible and he's a director, and there was that whole thing where he kicked off at staff. So I've got
Yeah,
no idea what's going
I
on with
know
that.
he takes the COVID stuff very seriously on
It's
the
because it
sets.
costs them money, yeah. But
Mm.
yeah, that Top Gun DLC is going to be free to all across all platforms. It looks pretty cool. Again, I like Flight Simulator, but it's something I have to be in a very specific mood for. It's
Mm. It's not
it,
like you'll just wake up one morning and say, "Hey, I'm gonna go fly to Brazil."
yeah. I mean, some people are like that. I've got a mate Matt that is really into it. Like he'll do a flight plan and he'll sit there and he was like, I get it, but at the same time, like I use games to kind of do massive escapes, like just completely different things. But it's there if anyone wants to know. It is a thing.
Although actually, you could play this on the Xbox One because now we've got xCloud as well, but we'll delve into that another time.
Yeah, in the future we'll probably do like a big segment on that because it's not fully released, but they're doing like there's something to do with the servers changed to Xbox X series, so now you can stream next gen to your old gen, which is an
Yeah.
odd thing. But yeah, they've not really explained much about that. That was info after E3 that we picked up on. But yeah, and then there was Psychonauts 2 was announced. There's a big bit of gameplay and a trailer, and apparently it runs
But they're
way
getting a
better.
sequel.
Yeah. Apparently, recent news is apparently it runs a hell of a lot better on the Xbox than the PS5 because it's coming
Ooh.
out on Overton. It wasn't just Xbox exclusive, but it is on Xbox Game Pass day one, which is the benefit. That
Yeah.
comes out the end of next month, August, I think. I will give that a go because I know I played the first one, and it's also got this thing that turns the enemies off, so you can just play the game.
What's so odd to that it's getting a sequel because the first one, when that came out, it was still on the original Xbox.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's a bit like Beyond Good and Evil. That's got a sequel coming, but it's kind of nowhere at the minute. So it's been a
Yeah.
long time. I know nothing about that game. It looks really like artsy and cutesy and a bit weird, a bit like what's it, Tim Burton-ish. And yeah, apparently like there is an exclusive game mode where it turns off all the combat and you can just play the game for people who don't want to be burdened with all the combat. Which is an odd
Or
decision, but
it's
accessibility and
very
all
good.
that.
That's when you want to be really chill when you're playing a game.
It's either you're insanely chill and high, or you may be like not into combat, or you may be like disabled in some way. And you don't have to worry about the combat. It's good that it's there,
Yeah.
but if you're just turning it off and you're a completely average gamer, you're probably a bit boring. But yeah, there was a couple of little indie or smaller projects announced like Contraband and stuff like that, but we're not going to really talk about that
This
because
one that we can both talk about because we both have experience with it. Pirates of the Caribbean came to Sea of Thieves.
yes, that was a big
It was
one.
quite the broken mess at first.
Yeah, obviously it was announced at E3, and over the time we've not done this minisode, we've actually played it, and oh my god, it was totally broken on release. Like the first tall tale you could go through, and you meet like Johnny Depp's Captain Jack. It's not actually Johnny Depp voicing it. It's like what are they called?
Impersonator.
Impersonator. Because obviously the Johnny Depp stuff,
Yeah.
free Johnny Depp. He doesn't deserve it. Amber Heard should be fired from everything. But
Mm.
yeah, it was basically a Pirates of the Caribbean Disney collaboration with Sea of Thieves that Rare announced. It was really cool. Definitely give it a go now. It's fixed. Apparently,
They
base
that is
Xboxes are still having issues though, because I know Kev mentioned he couldn't. It was still crashing. So yeah, that is a thing. It obviously is expanding it. I always think of Sea of Thieves as like No Man's Sky kind of
yeah.
style. So they started rough, but then they got better and better and better and better. I mean, No Man's Sky did that Normandy Mass Effect kind of collaboration. So they're both doing their own thing, and it's cool. I'm sure they'll do more in the future. It's out now. People who care about it have probably already played it. So
Yeah.
um, we did
Plague
guess.
Tale is getting a
I was just going to say the exact same thing. Yeah.
Plague Tale is getting a sequel, Plague Tale Requiem.
I'm
I
not
still have to play the
sure.
first one as well. It's on my backlog.
Yeah, I've not played the first one all the way through. I'm not sure why it needed a sequel. Obviously, the ending must have been a sequel bait thing. It looks cool. It was a cool like horror narrative game with the rats and everything, and the whole thing with
Yeah.
your brother being infected, and it's set in like I think like early France, so maybe like the 1200s, something 1300s. Obviously, alternate history, kind of fantasy and supernatural. And the first one was pretty cool. It was just free on PS Plus, actually. At least on the PS5. I think it was the PS5 version. But the sequel is much like Hellblade 2. It's been announced, we know some things, but there's not a lot of details on it. And it seems like it's probably going to be in development for at least another year. So that is another announcement. We also had Slime Rancher 2, which, I mean, what more can you say about that? It's a cutesy kind of zoo collectathon of goo.
It's Slime Rancher.
Yeah,
Easy.
if you like Slime Rancher 1, you'll like Slime Rancher 2. It's more of the same. Yeah, there was also a Shroom and Doom update for Grounded, and I recently played that for the first time, and I thought that was really cool. It's definitely got a learning curve, and my god, the spiders are scary in that game. I'm not even joking. There's actually an option to turn them off because they're actually so freakily fast and they kill you instantly if you're not if
Hey,
you're
that
obviously
works for me because I've got arachnophobia.
yeah if you're a fan of like survival games, it's basically Honey I Shrunk the Kids kind of arc styled with a bit of like Minecraft building, and it's got a bit of Bugs Life to it because you're obviously shrunk into a garden, and they basically added this update that added some new items, some new weapons, some new things. There was a boss, the Brood Mother, hence the Shroom and Doom thing. They added some mushrooms. But yeah, that was a new thing. It's not fully out yet. It's still in early access. It's also got achievements now. So there is that. And I think there was also something to do with Stalker 2. I can't even remember if that was a release date or a development update, but Stalker 2 is a thing. It's very,
Noble. No, it doesn't have a release date. It just comes out this year.
I've never played the original, but I've recently been playing Metro and Chernobylite, which are kind of similar games. The very survival FPS, sneaky kind of elements of the supernatural to them. But that is coming as well. This is kind of a quick fire minisode because a lot of Xbox did win and Bethesda did win, but a lot of the stuff they were just showing is pure announcements and cinematic trailers with a few release dates. There wasn't actually much gameplay, which is a major complaint of E3 yet again. I think the only place that really showed gameplay was Ubisoft, really. And one to kind of finish on and wrap up with is Halo Infinite. Once again, there's no release date. It's coming out.
Yeah, that's got free multiplayer.
Yes, so Halo Infinite is releasing this Christmas. That's all they said, and it is obviously Game Pass day one. They've improved it. They showed some gameplay, and the Halo Infinite free multiplayer is going to be a thing. So you don't even have to have Game Pass to play that. It'll be cross-platform between Windows and Xbox consoles, and you'll get like battle passes. And they did say you can always go back to a battle pass and do it for free, and you'd have to pay for it, and you can choose which one you're progressing towards. We're trying to make the multiplayer more open and fun. I imagine they'll do a Forge world. There's like a progression. You can really customize your is it Spartans they're called?
I think they're Spartans. I haven't played Halo since 4, so
Yeah, I haven't played since Reach. 4 was a bit hit and miss, but yeah, that is something cool. Again, not a lot of info. They did do like a deep dive into what they're doing with the multiplayer. It looks really cool. You'll have access to it. I used to play a lot of Reach, got really into it, so I'm hoping it's as good as that. Because Halo 4 was Halo 5 I haven't played, so we'll have to see.
and what's also really cool about this will be dealt with in a podcast later is that with the free multiplayer, you also, if you don't have Game Pass, you also don't need Xbox Live for it. They
Yeah,
recently got rid of that. So now
yeah,
you can go if you want to play something like Fortnite, but you can't afford Xbox Live, just download it and you can just play it. You
yeah.
don't have to pay for it.
Anything that's free to play on Xbox is now just free to play, even without subscriptions. So
Mhm. It's
it's a good
proper
stat.
free to play now.
This is why I'm so against Sony at the minute. Like I bought a PS5 and it's just most of the time it just sits there. Like I bought Metro Exodus, and I'm enjoying it. It's a slow burn and it's got like haptic feedback. So it's the PS5 upgrade. But there's really nothing on Sony. The games are too expensive. They haven't got anything to combat Game Pass. Xbox is doing all these massive announcements and like, oh, this is free, that's on Game Pass day one. We have this system, and yes, Game Pass could probably be detrimental to physical games, but at the same time, it's such a good deal, and I don't really care about physical games anymore. um,
It's we're coming into the age where having the physical copy of media is dead, so it's just as well.
that's all down to personal preference. One thing will
Mm.
like it's basically video killed the radio star. It's now Game Pass killed physical games.
Digital killed the physical stores.
Yes, that's the next rendition of that song. But yeah, that was a
And it's
quick.
actually coming true, especially this side of the world.
Indeed, indeed. I mean,
Because
Disney
now here
Plus
with
is another
everything going
thing.
digital, all the physical stores are closing.
Yeah, Netflix, Disney Plus, all of that kind of stuff is killing DVDs. I mean, but everything has its time, kind of thing.
Our
Um,
last major DVD suppliers recently shut down just because of streaming itself took over everything.
hmm But yeah, that was kind of Xbox and Bethesda. There was a lot of kind of big announcements, smaller announcements. There's also things we haven't mentioned, which are like smaller indie stuff. There was a whole indie showcase we didn't focus on. We just wanted to do the kind of bigger companies. But sorry it
Yeah.
took so long. It just, unfortunately, the way it is. A lot of people will
Some
probably watch this and be like, "Oh, we know this," but it's just unfortunately we're a bit late to the draw. But we will be back in August, either beginning or end of, with a full episode,
back with our regular schedule doing a full episode.
and then we'll probably do minisodes on like Eurogamer and the Game Awards and all that kind of stuff that happens. Is it Paris Games Week? Is another one as well.
Yeah,
Um,
that's as well. But I
that's all
think
the
most people just really care about the Game Awards.
Yeah, I know the Game Awards is not the next big one. I'm just hoping we hear some of the from
Here's an idea.
PlayStation.
Here's an idea. Tell us in the comments what you want us to cover for minisodes.
Exactly, yeah. Whether it's like we can cover games, we might even do like films because I'm gonna go and see the Suicide Squad when that comes out. So we could talk about that, and you could talk about it like as in I haven't seen it, I have seen it, stuff like
Mm.
that. Yeah, just ideas. But hopefully we're here for something on PlayStation because their state of play was terrible. They literally just showed off Deathloop, which is Xbox anyway, which made no sense. And there was nothing on God of War, nothing on Horizon 2, nothing on Uncharted, nothing on the Jack 5 rumours. And like I said, I was really disappointed from E3 that Capcom did not announce Dino Crisis Remake again. It has to come soon. If not, another company needs to buy it. But one bit
I
of
mean, there's
news,
nothing for it, so
yeah, it's just it needs to happen. It's too long now. It needs to happen. Either a remake, a reboot, or Dino Crisis 4 needs to happen, and disregard the third game. But what I really think we should probably finish on is the fact that we had the news with PlayStation buying what was it? House Marquee, who made
yeah,
Returnal.
one of the bigger devs.
Yeah, and they also accidentally tweeted, Sony Japan accidentally tweeted that they bought Bluepoint. Now, what's weird is it was an official tweet and an official picture, but they've said nothing about it. They didn't correct it, they didn't corroborate it, they didn't say no, no, no. and it just seems like they accidentally did it. Like, I imagine they had something in a draft every month on their social medias, like post this then, and yeah. So they bought House Marquee, made a Returnal, and the rumours are because of that tweet they're buying Blue Point, and hopefully that'll lead to a Metal Gear Solid remake because that is needed as well. But yeah, that's pretty much everything we're going to talk about. Any
We can do is
comments?
just wait and see where these things go.
Yeah, and we'll be
I mean, no one
back.
knew what would happen with Bethesda, and now we've just made a whole episode out of it.
Exactly. You never know. You never know. But we'll be back soon. Like I said, we tried to make this a bit shorter this time because we were a bit late. But we will be back soon next month. Any comments, any questions, any suggestions,
Drop
anything
them
at
in the
all,
comments.
pop them below. We'll have Beachy and hopefully Nick on the next one if we can catch them. And yeah, have a good afternoon, evening, night from wherever you're from. And thanks for
And
giving us your
everything else
time.
in between.
Exactly, exactly. It's bye from myself and Chris.
That is goodbye from me. I am Chris. Haha.
And we'll see you next time, guys. Bye bye.